failed getting data. Why? Hi. Cakes. Yeah? Greetings. Yo, Cakes, did you have time to listen to my song Discord Submission yet? No, I didn't. Welcome back. My man, Mungdal. Mungdal. Hello. Rames, good morning. Guys, we can get a little bit of streaming. We can still get a little bit of streaming done, boys. Huh? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna listen to it, okay? Almost there, guys. I just need to bring a tea to my wife. No way, Mr. Cakes here. Hello. How are you guys? How are you guys doing? Hello there. Hello there, sir. First time chatter. Good morning. How's it going? Who the fuck is this guy? This guy is a person who is fucking warm. It's hot. It actually is. Let me see. God. Okay, it's supposed to rain today somewhere. When is it supposed to rain? Eh? Was it supposed to rain here? Cloudy? This is crazy, man. Like, when is this going to get better? Look at these numbers. It's always like 24 plus minimum. God. Hello there. Hey there, Furkan on YouTube. Good morning. 90 degrees, 29 degrees in my room. It's going to be -2 degrees here. Cake so hot right now. What the fuck? -2? Like, it's Celsius. Holy shit. In New Zealand, it's actually cold right now. That's crazy. Alright, let's see here. Someone made a song, guys, on Discord. I wonder, is it on submissions? Yesterday? March of the Skellies. My man, thank you. And then we have an attack here by someone else. I think I never took a look at this. Let's see, what is this? Yeah, I mean... This sounds more like a failed attack. It's like, ew. Thank you, Kanche. I appreciate it. It's winter? How's it winter for you? And then this... Necro, thank you very much for putting out a song on Discord for my game. That sounds like a bow attack. March of the Skellies. Let's listen to this. This sounds more like a clown theme. I mean, it does work. It's more funny than like... It was also inspired by the stream. Spooky. It is spooky. Really good stuff, man. Holy. Guys. Tell me what type of wipe you'll want and see what I can do. Can I use this? Can I loop this? It needs to be able. I need to be able to loop. It's really good. I have a cool idea. Just wait. Wait until it's over. You just made this from scratch by yourself? That's really good. Hello, Venomicus. Good morning. But only 2 times now. No, okay, that's fine. So I think what I need in my game is... guys, I'll explain this to you. Listen to this, okay? I'll show you. I'll show you what happens. So, are you guys ready? Update game, okay? Wait a minute. Okay. Over here. All right, now take a look at this. Are you guys ready? So here's what I'm thinking. Maximum immersion. I'll show you. All right, are you guys ready? Take a look at this. This is what I... My God. Okay, me a second. I need water. Fuck, man.
Am I so out of touch? No.
Fear of Darkness just subscribed. Big tick support for year.
Fear of Darkness, thank you so much. You're continuing your sub from Mr. Almeida by subbing yourself. I really appreciate it, man. Your sound was okay, Culture. To me, it sounded like a failed attack. Rama said it was more like a bow attack. Thank you very much, man. Guys, here's what I think this can do. Take a look at this, okay? You guys ready? Watch this. Uh-oh. What happened to penis? And then he does some attacks. Like boom, 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 boom. It's supposed to be a boss battle music. Would actually be cool if we timed the movement with the track. Yeah, we can try to do that. I mean, this is like this could be the first boss. But he's going to have a lot of HP, so we need to make sure that the music loops, you know. Cakez, you should create a track. No, I didn't. You know, it's so like he appears, I don't know, here somewhere or somewhere else. Comes from somewhere. Yeah, Necropolis did it. Necropolis, can I use this track for this purpose? Is that okay? It sounds so good, man. It's only a demo now. We'll make it better. Sure. But yeah, this is really good. I would like to use this song together with this guy. I plan on having this guy be the first, like, boss, skeleton boss. And obviously I want to have a really good soundtrack for him. I think your soundtrack fits very well. I think it works very well. And so what I'm thinking about the main theme of my game, if you want, I can send you some tracks that I did in the past, some other people did in the past for me, and that I used, tracks that I used as inspiration, so that you can maybe do something if you want to. And, you know, maybe in the future we can, like, build something together, and, you know, we'll see how it goes, how we can work together. That would be awesome. Sure, send me. So, for example, if I go into my game, into assets, I will send that to you over Discord. That's really cool. Thank you very much, man. So, essentially, where's that sounds? Alright, so this is, I have to find that, let me see here. This is what I made myself, and the inspiration is balloons, like always. Balloons TD5 and 6, and the theme is flutes, and I don't know what that instrument is, but I'll show you. So first, like, this is what I made. Like that instrument, kinda. Like that's what I made a while ago. But it is too repetitive and it gets annoying after some time. So the feeling that I wanna give off is just like the feeling you get in Bloons, which is monkeys in huts. Something like that. I plan on having this right here be like the starting area. And I plan on building this hut-themed, kinda blocky wood or wood-themed camp. I plan on rebuilding this in bigger right here. This is essentially where you begin. And so right now it doesn't reflect that mission, or it doesn't reflect this, but it will in the future. So that's essentially the idea. And the theme is obviously similar to Bloons. So if we go... So I guess I'll just paste that Cakez party thing to you. This is like what I did. No. Test. I'm just gonna do test and then send a message there. So basically this is what I did. This is what I did right here. I mean, I guess I could... So that's number one. Music stream? No. Necropolis. Necropolis is offering to help me with music. And so... Sorry about that, guys. And so I want to give him the best... Like, once in the past I had one really professional music artist in the chat. And he told me that he can make music for me, but he needs to know what type of... Like, he needs to know which types of tracks I'm like leaning towards, what I'm interested in, and how I want the music to be. And the more tracks I could link him, the better. So I'm gonna link him the tracks that I used as inspiration and that I made myself. So that's the track that I made myself. And then obviously, I'm pretty sure you know this. This is the track that I'm inspired by. Bloons party theme. That's like the biggest inspiration, and I don't know if you have Spotify, so I'll just try to find that on YouTube really quickly. It's Party Time Bloons. We see Party Time Bloons. Sorry, sorry, I have. Oh shit, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, wait. Okay. Yeah, it's very loud. This one right here, that's a big inspiration. Big inspiration. The instruments in there. The instruments in there. I don't know what type of instruments they are. Like, I can only know them in German, like Klarinette, glaube ich. I don't know. I'm terrible with identifying what type of instruments they are, but... yeah. I can't give you more information, unfortunately, because I don't have the ear for that. I'm not trained to know what type of stuff it is in there. Xylophone, yeah, I think xylophone. I agree with Push. This seems too happy to go. Lucky for your game, you have skeletons and evil mages, ghosts. Okay. I mean... Banjo. Okay. Maybe a bit darker? I mean... Maybe if you have the time and want to do that, maybe a bright and dark version. My game is a bit more comical side. Yeah, it is. So I think it's fine. And then another one that's a big inspiration, and I hope I can find it. Bloons TD5. Huh? This one is difficult to find, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to find it.
Esport, Twitch,
Let's see.
online casino, sports betting, equals scam, fixed match.
Maybe this? Do you have a composer now, Cakez? Maybe, we'll see. I mean, his first song was really good, and you know, maybe in the future we can make like a business relationship. But first we have to work together, see if it works. Yes. I'm thinking more darker, but still fun. Something like Rayman 3 OST. Copy link. How about Chrono Trigger? Frog theme. Chrono Trigger frog theme. Can you link that? Let me find... Well, there's definitely xylophones in that one. So, am I the only one that thinks that this is actually... That's why it felt like it was so quiet, because I had it muted. YouTube? Rayman was my childhood. Okay, I'm gonna get demonetized, will I? Shit. Gonna get demonetized. Fine, let's go. I think this is more of a boss music. When you're in the game, unless... Like, it always depends, right? So for this mission right here, for this area... Let's say, right? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 missions here. For this area, I want more of a balloons type of theme, because it's woodland, there's trees there, you are in the forest, and it makes sense to have more like a... To not have it too dark. But, you know, once we get out of this area, which is, you know, past the demo, you know... when I extend this map eventually, then we can have different themes that are still inspired maybe by the original one. To be a little bit darker, a little bit brighter, maybe some chilly themes, you know, for ice areas. Like different types of themes depending on the biome we are in. So for this biome, I would like this to be the iconic soundtrack for the game. And I would like this to be balloons inspired and therefore a little bit more happy, on the happy side. Because I don't want my game to start out dark. I want it to start out happy. And so we can try out a dark version, but I would spend more time if I was like... I would spend more time on the like the brighter version. Like this needs to be like the song of the game, essentially, like a balloons party time, like the recognizable song, the hook, essentially, if you wanna call it that. That's the idea. Oh god, we get it. Okay, see you in 10 minutes, bitch. Got it. What's the overall tone of the game? Stardew Valley, what soundtrack might fit theme? You wanna, if you want a kind of magical track. Can you link that? So, those two. And here's another one that a viewer made for me a long time ago, but he never finished it, unfortunately. He made a soundtrack for me. Necropolis ad would be cool if you like don't disappear into the void after you make the soundtrack. You know, you already made one. There was another person, Cakez theme song, that made me a Cakez theme song and a Cakez Iceland song. And I liked both of them. So the Cakez theme song started like this. Excuse me. This was flutes inspired. Arabian vibes? Yeah, maybe. Could be in a desert. This could actually be a desert sound, yeah. Maybe we'll keep it.
Hello, Cakez.
It's good, but it does not fit this biome, yeah. Essentially this, and unfortunately it's also very short, but I'm gonna link that to you anyways, and I'm gonna call it... so Evo Longia was the one that made it. And he made a desert theme song. Or, you know, Evo Longia, or by Evo Longia. The desert theme song. By Evo Longia, I think it was. And that is for Cakez. Or let's call it Tangy Defense. Desert theme song. Evo Longoria. Let me check what his real name is on Discord. Evo Longia, this guy. He made 2 songs for me and then disappeared from the face of the earth. Maybe died? I don't think so. Yeah, and then we have another one, Tangy Defense. Ice theme song by Evo Longia. This is the other one. Sorry about that. Wait, how do you say that? That was actually really good too. This is what I have so far. This is a little bit... Yeah. Anyways. Good day, sir. I made a research. I've made research and found out how to integrate Among Us into your game. You could check it out here. Smiley face.
The Among Us potion from the dark web. And supposedly, when you drink this Among Us potion at 3 a.m., you turn into the imposter from Among Us.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Stardew Valley. Who linked the Stardew Valley one? Thank you. That is the Stardew Valley one, right? Starts very slow. I don't think it fits my tower defense theme. You know why? Because tower defense games, while yes they are relaxing, there's usually more of a, like, you're being kept on your toes the entire time. It's more like a, I don't know, Bloons music is just better. This fits more into an RPG game, in my opinion. There's some urgency in TD games, yeah. This could be like end credit, maybe, yeah. It needs some tension, yeah. This is too chill. This is the Rayman 3 OST. Didn't we listen to this? My contribution, Graveyard Keeper, sounds like it was, is what you want. Close up. This only works in a different biome, guys. It works in a graveyard. It works in a more desolate area, but not in woodland. But yeah, it's good. It's good. Graveyard level in TD would be cool, yeah. I like this vibe more. Think about it. The oranges are just chilling. Then all of a sudden skeletons come out of nowhere. Yeah. But it doesn't fit this, guys. Take a look.
Gotcha, bitch!
Think about it. It should be night on your map, yeah. I need more environments for that. Yes, it needs to be a more desolate area, maybe like a graveyard themed area. Then that would work. Make a new map then. You think I'm gonna make a new map then when I don't even have a single soundtrack for the game for this biome? You think I'm gonna make a new biome right now when I should be working on gameplay and the gameplay loop? What happened to Cakez? You should work on your gameplay loop. You should work on what the player does all the time, so that the game is flashed out and then everything else should be built around that. What happened to that? What happened to that now, guys? Huh? You forgot about it all along, did you? I didn't. I will not be deterred by what's happening right now. Do it, pussy. That's still your core mission. I'm watching you. Yeah, he's watching, you know, guys. Ramis is watching. We need to make a good game loop. Start again from scratch. The shadows look simple, but add so much life. You mean the dark shadows here? You mean this? This stuff here? I meant the shadows of the characters. Oh, I see. Yeah, they do. They do a lot, yes. Try out your new programming language, maybe. Contributes to the cause. No. Anyways, this fits in a different theme. Right now, what I want is a Bloons-like theme for the wood areas. And I think the best thing we can do is to start Steam. Just a second. And to take a look at Bloons and how they play the music in the menu. And how they play the music in the first level. Do you plan to use IamGUI for the editor? I have my own IamGUI implementation, Visney. It is essentially immediate mode UI. That is, IamGUI is inspired by that, and I made my own immediate mode UI, which is very close to IamGUI, but with less features. A minute and a half of ads? Oh yeah, they just started right now. Oh yeah. Now I have to repeat myself. Fuck.
Hello.
Alright, so let's test. I need to put music on. Alright, let's put the music on, close the game, and then start again. Day without opening Bloons to copy from is a waste of day. Guys, Bloons is the best game to copy from, or if you're making a tower defense game, because it is, I think, the most successful tower defense game out there. And of course, they do a lot of things right. And we need to understand why they get things right. Aha. It starts bling, 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 bling. And then we have a Borderland theme. Bum, 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 bum. I never played a tower defense game. I watched this for the lulz. Let's see, does the music ever stop? I don't think it does. What do you feel makes Bloons good? The popping sound? The relatability to monkeys, cute monkeys? We are descendants of monkeys. The music? And the ease of upgrades that lets you decide certain upgrades and go for certain builds while being deep enough to allow you to experiment while also being very simple. You have 3 options to upgrade. It's very, very simple. Yet you can still decide on certain builds. You can't get all of the upgrades. And then for a new player, the cool thing about Bloons is that you can level up. AKA these monkeys, they gain experience and then you can buy yourself the upgrades when you start a new level. And then obviously, yeah, the popping sound is just awesome. It's very kid-friendly, yeah, it is very kid-friendly. That's because we bear similarities, doesn't mean we descended from them. We are chimpanzees, brother. We came from chimpanzees. What are you talking about? Do we actually have to talk about this right now? Right, so this is the thing that I'm talking about. Each monkey can gain experience. He has 100 right now. And with that experience, he can train more upgrades. We had common ancestors, guys. I don't care about the technicalities, okay? If you go back long enough, then we were monkeys, okay? We had hair everywhere. And as time progressed, hair got less and less, okay? We still have hair on our balls, but we don't have, not many of us still have hair on our chest. There's some people that are born without hair on their chest, for example. If you go back long enough, we were fish, yeah. See? True. We started out as fish, guys. It's evolution. We were not monkeys, just propaganda similarities doesn't mean common ancestors, bro. What the fuck? I'm not engaging with this. Anyway, so we can unlock and train. And so, like, it is many things that make balloons good. You've unlocked. But in my opinion, it's the easy to use AI, easy to understand, the easy upgrades. Then you click once for an upgrade. You don't click twice. So essentially you click, upgrade, while in other games you have to click more. It's many things that go into this, and I'm still exploring what makes it good. And then obviously a big part is also the music, and I need to go to the door. Okay. I hate monkeys. Okay. Anyways, guys, let's not get into discussions about this, okay? Who cares? It is true that we can relate to monkeys more than we can relate to, let's say, fruit. We can relate to humans more than we can relate to cats. Okay? That's just how it is, okay? Whether that be from some ancestry or not, who gives a fuck, okay? That's just how it is, okay? We find monkeys cute and they have cute monkeys, okay? That's just how it is. Because they're very similar to us. You know, they have hands, they have feet, they have heads. And nice body, monkey strong together. So ultimately it is many things that make balloons good. One of the big things that I didn't talk about yet is being able to place your heroes almost pixel perfect right next to each other, and then, you know, basically creating batches of how do you say that? Locations on the map where there's a bunch of damage located in that particular spot. For example, and then you buff that particular spot to be like really crazy. You know, and while in other tower defense games you have tiles, you can only place units on tiles. Balloons goes further and lets you place units essentially pixel perfect, which is really cool. Another big thing that makes balloons interesting and different is you have obstacles in the game, and I don't know how many other tower defense games actually do that, but as you can see right here, I cannot attack in this particular direction if I place the monkey close to this windmill because it's blocking my vision. And so it adds a lot of depth while at the same time being very beginner friendly. So it is basically, it is targeting a very wide audience with the game, and therefore it is very successful. But there's more. Like I uncover more and more things as I keep going back to balloons to figure out, well, how do they do certain things? And so today we figured out, well, what about the music? And yes, the music keeps playing. It loops very nicely. You know, you don't get annoyed by the music ever.
Just give
And
me
you
a
just
target.
play and play and play. They probably just want to deal with grid systems. No, I think there's a reason to do this. Guys, push, stop. Guys, stop talking about it. Or both part-time yards. Guys, stop. If you want to discuss this, like, it can get out of hand, okay? Looks like Push has very strong opinions on this. So, guys, do this somewhere else, okay? I'm for something like this. Pokemon Red Blues. I don't think this works. Nah, this doesn't work. It's really cool, but it doesn't work. Anyways, guys. We have it. Let me go back here and change the playlist. Cakez, yeah, fuck this shit. I was accused of being religious because I say evolution is not fully backed by science and I didn't even mention religion. Why do you engage with people on the internet, Push? Just know better. And Cherise, you gotta stop too. You guys stop. Guys, you gotta stop right now, okay? 20 minutes of evolution talk will lead to the question. It always does. You guys can't change your both of your opinions anyways, right? So just stop. Someone goes that are very polished and for casual gamers are very difficult to market. You need to invest a lot of money to be like Angry Birds. Not sure Bloons is the same, but looks very casual. What do you think? Some games that are very polished and for casual gamers are very difficult to market. You need to invest a lot of money to be like Angry Birds. No. Bloons is a good game. It has a lot of features that make it easily accessible to the average player while not hiding it behind a bunch of complexity. While not hiding behind, a bunch of complexity. You don't need a lot of marketing if your game is good. If Push disengages, they'll say, of course, you have no arguments, run away. Cakez, I think you need more movement to your environment that look at Bloons. Yes, we will do that later. You definitely need marketing. Well, what am I doing right now, brother? Like, I'm online. I'm not playing. I'm on the internet. I'm showing my game to people all the time. It kind of is marketing, even if it's on a smaller scale. Okay, guys. Don't have much time, so we have to get some good stuff done today. But I wanted to ask, do you have enough Necropolis to like try to make a theme song? Do you need more, or is that enough? Cakez for later. Didn't I watch this already? What makes tower defense games good? 5 years ago. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Phil. Thank you so much. That's a really good video. We're gonna watch this today. Thank you, man. Wow, what a giga chat. I don't know how I will do this, how I will do in this style, but I'll get the gist of it. I don't know how I will do in this style, but I will get the gist of it. We talked about this yesterday? No? Can't wait for react session. Yeah, that's really good. Let's put this here. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it, man. Very good one. I also saved a couple of C++ ones for later. Thank you, Phil. Hello, Diamond. Good morning. Guys, you have to stop Guys, I will time both of you out and then I will give push back mod so you guys can disengage. You guys will not agree on each other. I'm just gonna time both of you out. And then push will... I stopped, bro. This is unfair. He kept talking. You both did. Bro, you both did. GMTK's video on skill trees could help, nah? Sure, link it, sure. Like, you literally just typed a message. Like, you didn't stop, push. You literally just typed a message, brother. You literally just typed a message. You said, I'm out here, and then you kept engaging 3 times. That's not stopping. That's engaging. I know it sucks to be like the one that stops talking because if someone like answers back to you, but you both did. Because he kept talking, yeah, that's the difficult part. Fine, I'll keep it, but stop, please. It's, guys, you have strong opinions, that's fine. You know, just, there's no point to 1 second timeout. YouTube, GMTK on skill trees. Since TD games heavily depends on them. Thank you. Thank you, my man. 9 minutes. I really appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for helping me with this. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we get some good reacts for this. Thank you. Let's put that next to each other. I'm actually going to put these both into the playlist so I don't lose them. Building better skill trees. Watch later. Thank you. Very nice. I actually agree with you, Cakez, but I was baited again. Anyway, no hard feelings. Anyways, okay, guys. What happened? So, fine, we do this right now. Ramis, I know it's not gameplay, but maybe someone in chat knows.
Gotcha, bitch.
Give me a second. Thank you for following Shade11. Program / shader state performance warning. Vertex shader in program 7 is being recompiled based on the GL state. Hey, Cupertino. Has any one of you ever experienced this? I get this all the time. Banned for following, he keeps following, guys. It's in the debug callback. I also have the same warning. I rewrote in a Vulkan as a fix. Yeah, sure, bro. Like, I'm gonna do that. It happens when I render my Bloom program. I don't know what to do about it, okay. Well, I guess I'll figure it out later then.
Gotcha, bitch.
Okay. Sucks. Okay, my man, lean draw dev, thank you very much for following. Isn't it too many instructions for the shader? Too many instructions for the shader, you say? Let me see, Bloom strength. Render data, game plus Bloom. MIP levels. It is too many instructions. Let's see. Let me Google that. By the way, Necropolis, if you need any more information, just let me know, okay? It's really cool that you are trying to do this. I didn't take the time. What causes GL recompilation of vertex shader based on a state? GL blend Cakez dev test. I also got this message and found the solution in a Reddit post. The problem was the following. I'm using direct state access to set up all my VBOs and VAOs, so during the setup process I never bind anything to the state machine. My vertex shader contains some inputs like layout location 0 in vec3 vertex position, but the corresponding attribute wasn't enabled yet in the stage machine. So the driver compiles the program version for the stage where no attributes is enabled. Now if I bind my first VAO for drawing, all the necessary attributes get enabled and the driver detects a mismatch between the state of my first draw call and the state when I compiled the shader. So he has to recompile it. In this case, the warning can be fixed by binding a correctly set up VAO before compiling the program. See remarks below. Alternatively, you can just set the state directly by enabling all required attributes with GL enable vertex attribute array as suggested in the link to Reddit post. Finally, you can decide to ignore the filter or filter the message if it occurs only once after the first draw call. But I would advise against it, since the warning might also be caused by other problems in your code that can cause serious problems. So fixing it should be the way to go. Remarks. I'm not entirely sure when the program, not the shader, is actually compiled, not linked. For me, it was sufficient to configure the state machine correctly just before I first called GL use program. Okay, so essentially what I did, and maybe that's the reason, I'm using the program here. I'm setting a frame buffer and a viewport. And the program that I use is the post-processing. Is it the post-processing program? Is it actually the correct one here? Post-processing. It happens here. Render to UI texture, UI pass. Bind frame. Oh no, actually it happens here. When I set two uniforms and then draw. So that is the post-processing fragment shader. And I set the draw mode here to do UI. This right here. And that's the UI texture. Metaverse, hello there. Thank you very much for following. I wasn't even close. Yeah, this one's a difficult one. I've started getting this recently. So that means I didn't get this before. That means I'm doing something wrong.
Gotcha, bitch.
So for example, layout binding to game texture. What is happening with 1 and 0? Island Moonlight, thank you very much for following too. I can't really tell, to be honest. What's the best way to learn shaders? Should I start with visual shaders? You mean shader toy? I think the best way might actually be shader toy to learn shaders. Or make a very simple OpenGL program and then test shaders in that. And have hot shader reloading. If you can reload your shaders on like a button press or on saving the shader with feedback whether the shader works or not, you can iterate a lot with shaders and it's really fun to test out what they do in the game. That's odd. Why use different bindings? Why not use the MIP levels? You mean this? I need to use different bindings because I need to actually write to the bloom textures. This right here is needed because bloom is working in a way where you write into a texture everything that you want to have bloomified, and then you halve the dimension of the texture and you write from the previous bloom texture to the next bloom texture. I've done bloom with MIP levels Maybe there is, but that's essentially how I learned Bloom. I don't really need to do this actually, because they are always bound. Texture 5. 5, 6, 7, 8. You made it anyways. Nice. Good morning, Sir Cakez and Jet. Hey, Pikachu. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I decided to do a little bit. Those shader bindings were confusing. Yeah, I know. I do know. We have 4 right now. So essentially what this means is, should I use the program here after binding the textures? But they are already bound. And like, this is talking about the vertex attribute array. I don't use vertex attributes. My vertex shader contains some input, like layout location in vector 3. But the corresponding attribute wasn't enabled yet in the state machine. I don't have any in location, I just have out location, UVs. And then in the post-processing fragment shader, I just have the in UV and those bindings. So it has to be those bindings. Everything here worked, by the way, the entire time, until I added in this layout binding number 9, the UI texture. I recently downloaded Godot and tried to follow a tutorial because I want to start game development, but I can't drag the assets into Godot. It just shows a no symbol when I hover my cursor above. What type of assets are you trying to import? Maybe Godot doesn't support the assets format. Like PNG files? They should support PNG files. And I think what you have to do is you have to drag it into the file tree. Not into the engine itself, but into the file tree. Or the file explorer in the application. Okay, let's see. Let's mark this as A. Maybe what's happening here is that I'm not binding letterboxing. What do we have here? Active texture 5. We bind the bloom texture to 5. Ah, okay. I see. I bind the bloom texture to 5. So this one works. Then for every MIP level, we set the different viewports. Then we draw. And we bind another texture. So that's basically writing into the bloom textures using number 5. Okay. And then what do we have here? This is transparent quartz. I'm not binding anything. Lights and ambience is using... It doesn't bind anything. It just uses a program. Okay.
Gotcha, bitch.
So Wong Ho, thank you very much for following, man. And So what I can tell already is that number 5 is always in use. So it might be that number 5 is not set yet. So basically what I get from this is I need to map the textures first before I use the program. So before I call... Where is this? Before I use this post-processing program, I need to bind these textures. That's what I get from this. Bind the texture first, then use the program. Or don't even bind this ever. Just have everything bound all the time. So in the bloom texture right here, fragment, bloom vertical, there is layout set sprites, bloom image vertical, layout location, out vector 2, vector 4, bloom final, binding. I don't know how that works. Light map uses the lighting texture on binding 3. Check code to see if there is any binding ID mismatches as you have in the past adjusted them. Yeah. But this should be... Why is there no location here on this? Why do I say set 0 and then binding 1? That seems very odd to me. So essentially this bloom final is what I do. Let's mark this as A here, then we can jump to this. That's what I do here. I activate texture 5 and then I bind the bloom texture. So guys, I'll show you in RenderDoc what happens. Then you guys can follow along a little bit, because right now you guys can't really tell what's going on. And I think it's... Maybe you guys can... Alright, let's see. F12. There you go. Now we have this image, okay, and what I'm currently looking at is this path right here. So essentially, how does the game work? We build the game, or we draw the game opaquely first. This is the background. And then we draw the trees on top of the background in transparency, or in the transparent part. Okay, the transparent trees. They are sorted and dev tested. Then I build what I call a light map. I clear this to some sort of blue light color. That's ambient color. That is essentially this color right here. I'll show you. This is where this comes from. This color right here, you see the ambient color, 0.25, 0.25, 1.0. That is the ambient color that I use right here. You see that? I guess I'm in the way, but it's 0.25, 0.25, and then 1. Now, after that, I draw lights on top. That's what it looks like. And in order to draw this, I call this the light map. It is applied later, but that's the light map. That's a texture that happens right here. Render the light map. I have my own frame buffer because I... Wait a minute. Lights ambient, yeah. I have my own frame buffer, that's right here, because I need to draw this into its own image, into its own texture from OpenGL. I have my own size for this. It is 240 by 135. I don't need it to be maximum resolution. I save a little bit of computation power here on the GPU. And then I set some blending modes. This is where you can see the ambient color or clear color. And then I just draw the lights. And after that, I apply this light map on the game. So essentially what happens is now I have the light map and I apply that light map on the game. This is what the game looked like before. This is what it looks like after the fact. Oh, sorry, this is what it looks before and this is what it looks after. It makes this game a little less monotonous, the color. You see that? How it turns the game a little bright in the middle and then a little bit darker on the sides. That's how I achieve this effect. Now, after that is when bloom comes into play. You see that I draw this transparent ring that is not affected by lighting. This is another path or pass in which I draw transparent objects that are not supposed to be affected by light. And so that is this circle right here, because the ambient light could have an effect on this glow, which is not what I want. So this is what's happening here. Unlit game objects. Essentially, I draw normally into the game. So I bind the game's program and therefore all the normal bindings. And I just do normal blending and then draw this. For normal transparency and additive blending transparency. And then once I'm done with this, this is where I also draw to the bloom texture. You can see right here, this is the first bloom texture. It is the same size as my final, like my final texture, the final result, if you will. It is 1920 by 1080 and the bloom texture is the same size. This is how I start out with bloom. And then these next draw calls right here, they all build different blooms. You see how I do it vertically and then horizontally, vertically, horizontally. I basically blur the entire image until I have, well, this blob left. Excuse me. And now, excuse me. Goodness. And then once I have done that, I take the game without bloom and I apply the bloom's textures. You can see them right here. I apply all of them in a post-processing effect on top of the game. I add all of these different bloomified layers together. And this is the part that crashes, or that doesn't crash, but this is the part where the OpenGL error happens. We build the bloom, everything's fine. And then in the final part, where I do post-processing, that is this draw call, GL draw arrays 6, where I take all of the bloom images and all of the outputs, to the screen, the back buffer, and I apply them. And so that is happening right here, post-processing. And so I think what's happening is I'm binding the active texture 5, which I use here too for the bloom program. So I'm using the same slot, the same texture slots for 2 different textures. One time when I do the bloom, I use this part for this texture right here. And then other times I use it, no, sorry. Workers need gold. Is it possible to use this RenderDoc thing with an engine like Unity? How do you hook into the GLL process? I think you can, yes. Or maybe Unity blocks it, but I've been able to use this on Unity games, yes. So what I think I want to do is take a look at... This is what I don't understand. The source texture is this. And then the output texture. Unity has docs on how to use render docs with it. Does any one of you know which texture is used? 5. Oh, it says the slot 5, the source texture. This one. Okay, slot 5. Slot 5 texture. That is this one right here. And that is using the Bloom program. Which is, I guess, this stuff. So I don't understand why it says binding 1 here. Sprites. I'm confused. This is the frame buffer output. But what is this? Binding 1 set 0. Essentially, this is just the texture that we sample from. Texture. So, why is it not like this? Binding 5, sampler to D. Why did I say set 0 here explicitly? I think this is the issue. This is supposed to be binding 5. Descriptor set 0, yeah. But I always use descriptor set 0. It's implied to be 0. So it should actually be this. Maybe I had a mistake here. Let me test if this is actually the reason why it crashes. Hey, Dark in Hell, hello there, bro. How's it going? You look strange, fully clothed like a pickle today, Case.
Hi.
What the fuck is this guy talking? What? Hello, I'm late. Or are you? Am I late or are you?
I was late, Jason. I'm sorry, brother. I couldn't come on earlier, but I appreciated that you joined. Hello, Jason.
No, that shouldn't affect it. So, like, but JR. So, like, I had binding 1 before. I was literally using binding 1, but in my source code, I explicitly say I use texture 5. And then I activate this texture slot, and then I bind this texture to that slot. You see what I mean? And I bind more textures down here. So these are essentially, and then the OpenGL program correctly figures out, or RenderDoc correctly figures out that it is actually using slot 5. But I specifically state in the shader that I want to use slot 1. It should be 5, but set 0 is always there. Yeah, okay, so maybe you think maybe that's the reason why it breaks? Because I explicitly say binding 1, but it's actually 5? How does that even work? Shouldn't that give me an error? That's odd. Fine. Come on. Yeah. You. Shouldn't this give me an error? This is also wrong. But maybe I don't use this anymore. Actually, I don't use this Bloom comp, I think. Give me 1 second. Yeah? Yeah. kann ich kurz pinkeln? Wenn du in Prinzessin kommst. Sorry.
How can this application be so dumb? It never. No, I don't want to deal with this right now. I have no. This is fucking. So we make a new layer, and then.
Yesterday I was at the dentist's chair.
Ah!
Deleting this
Ah, you fucking
No.
bitch!
For fuck's sake, make those dentists.
TW, the
Himself
See
into
how
the
fast I got
Classic.
far, how far I got high, how high I got there. No, I need
Okay,
a W,
we'll
you know.
figure
I
it
need a
out.
dick. I need a big, fat.
Okay, baby. Hello, Zoe. Hello. Okay, we'll figure it out with baby. But she's like, look how like.
I wanted to relax.
Okay.
God, that triggered me.
All right. Bloom composition. I don't think I use bloom composition.
I don't want to be like Cakez.
Push data, bloom index, level 1, level 2. I don't think we use that. Let me check. Finally, the star of the stream is here. Just stay in posy. What happened to your face, Cakes? You look less grumpy. What do you mean? What do you mean? You look less grumpy, bitch. Yeah, brother. Okay. Let me figure this out. Texture 5, bloom texture. Let me see, when I build the bloom program, I have quad, I use trails, I use post-processing light map, I use post-processing, but this is hot shader reloading. I don't have bloom hot reloading yet. Yeah. I need to quickly find the code where I load the bloom shaders. Bloom vertical. Post-processing. Bloom vertical. Vertical. This kid's first word would be shader at this point. Wait a minute. Bloom downsample program just uses post-processing vertex shader and the bloom vertical fragment shader. Aha. I had a bunch of old shaders. This is the one actually. Yes. Aha. And there's binding 5. So I was using this correctly already. So this is the one that I use. I use weights. And then I have a boolean for vertical and not vertical. What if our first word is Vulcan? I don't think it will be, man. Would be funny though. Okay, so that's not the issue then. But I do have this on binding 5, the source texture. And then in post-processing, post-processing. Wait. In post-processing, I use 5 for the first iteration of bloom. So maybe I should just say, why doesn't she react? Because she's sleeping and she doesn't really like, yeah, she's like starting to sleep. Like you can be loud with babies. You should actually be loud with babies so they don't wake up when like a needle drops. Okay, guys, I think I will just keep it the way it is. The change that we did on the renderer, for those of you who care about the OpenGL rendering, I made this change right here. I activated the bloom textures before I used the program. That's what I did. And then hopefully we don't get this weird error message anymore. The reason why we are doing this is because we got this error message. Program shader state performance warning. Vertex shader program is 16 is being recompiled based on the GL state. Sets are unique to one pipeline, so the vertex shader shares the same bindings, but another fragment shader shouldn't affect this one. No, but the issue, I think, the issue that we had was the following, where in post-processing for slot 5, we use a different texture than in the Bloom's shader, the downsample program. And so basically what I do is I bind texture 5 here, do the downsampling for Bloom, and then for post-processing, before I'm able to do it, I set a different bloom texture on slot 5 here. Because essentially what happens is I need to write to the bloom texture, so it's in a frame buffer, and then from that frame buffer, I need to use that binding and slot as a texture in the shader to read from it. But I see. I think about it. If that happens again, then I will try to sort out the bindings better. Alright, fuck. She's sleepy? Yeah, it's a little sleepy. It's like a package. Okay, now. I wanted to work on gameplay today. Get a little bit of stuff done. What did I want to do, actually? I forgot, I got so derailed. But we need to work on gameplay, guys. Okay, we need to make gameplay equals playing the game PoE, let's go. No, not this. Not this, sir. This. Okay.
Am I so out of touch? No.
Lazy
My man,
0008
thank
just
you.
subscribed. Big tick support for 4 years. giving away my free Jeff coins.
Thank you, my man. Thank you for the Jeff coins. I appreciate it, bro. I really do. Thank you, sir. Was the random weapon chest done? Yes, the random weapon chest is done. And we turned this into level 10. I thought the layout key was purely for direct memory access through the binding ID using, in this case, a sampler2D as its structure. But you're just using GL API calls to upload the texture, correct? No, I'm setting the texture. Uploading the texture is already done in setup for OpenGL if I needed to upload a texture. But other than that, OpenGL writes to frame buffers. These are textures. And then these textures in the frame buffer can then be used as textures in the shader to sample from. So what you do is you have, let's say, one draw call where you write into your game's image. That game image is a texture in OpenGL. And then that texture can then be used in a shader, in a binding, to read from and write into a different texture. Like, for example, the screens texture. And in order to do that, you need to build an OpenGL texture, or an image is what it's called there. And yeah, that's about it. How long can you play with one hero right now, Cakez? We'll see. I think what I need to do is... Let's just play. Let's just play and see what happens. I feel like I missed something. I wanted to do something today. I think I wanted to rebalance the waves. Okay, we gotta level up now. Let's put shield orbs on it and then just keep playing. Can you explain why the wave system now works? The wave system. The wave system. Wooden sword. Actually, we can get rid of the scripting here. Okay, so this is round 3. Round 3 is a little bit difficult because we get armored enemies right now. But I'm not getting anything to beat those armored enemies. No, it's not out of context, Inukai. It is actually not out of context. I'll show you. It's not out of context. It's actually not displaying the messages, if there is. Yep. It actually didn't show me this message right here. It didn't show me this message. I don't know why. It decided that 77 IQ was too toxic. And Rick and Morty, maybe that was also too toxic. I don't know. But yeah, sir. Like, I didn't see that message, actually. How is the next wave triggered? YouTube bug, classic, yeah. Let's just play and see. Play. I think this is... I think Shield Ops is too overpowered. We get another chest to unlock another item with that scimitar. I feel like it should slow down. Link to this playlist, it's so damn good. Yeah, wait. I can give it to you. I'm gonna have to ask Abev, but guys, Abev is addicted to PoE. I don't want to listen to this right now. This neither. This neither. Cakez reminder, focus gameplay, not UI. Yes, we focus on gameplay right now. I guess you're right. I see, looks like you are not to blame this time. No, I'm not. Okay, so we can get an upgrade here as a weapon. Physical damage, bleed chance, attack speed. Now we have this weapon. Look, he's bleeding, but he's taking barely any damage. He just hits so often. It's funny. Gameplay or content? I'm working on gameplay. Now they got another level up. We actually have 2 level ups here. I think I need to nerf shield ops. It's a little bit too overpowered, guys. But then I don't have anything to fight against these skeletons. The skeletons are too strong. Skeletons bleeding looks like a logic bug to me. And then we get this hero right here. Guys, I think I want skeletons to have 20% less life for the skellies. Skeletons are supposed to be high armor targets. If it's easy to beat them, we have the first hero, then what sense does that make to have skeletons? See what I mean? No demo for Steam TD Fest. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I'm currently working on the gameplay loop. Hello, Infinity. Good morning. How's it going? I want to test something, guys. Why would the player not be capable of defeating skellies with the first hero? Yeah, maybe I'm making it too difficult. Less skellies per round, not 40, only 20, but that minimizes the earnings. Yeah, that would also be less earnings. You're right. We don't have that many earnings. Good first time on your channel. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, thanks for asking. I am. Currently trying to work on gameplay. It's a little bit difficult with baby and hands. Come on. There you go. What do I need? Attack. There you go, this function. So what I have here is... let's try to look for physical damage. Physical damage. So if physical damage... I guess the min physical damage... Should we turn this to 1 or 2? Guys, do you think 1 minimum physical damage, is that too weak? I'll explain to you. Control Shift B, can I build? Yeah, I can. Guys, I'm programming with one hand. Alright, let's see here. This is what it looks like now. How much? They take 1 damage. Now. Do they have too much armor? That doesn't feel good, yeah. They are very strong. I think I'm spawning too many skeletons. And I don't have enough to beat the skeletons right now. Let's redo this. Let's just see what that change does. But I think this is what you need to do, right? This is gameplay, guys. This actually is gameplay. Oh wow, we got gold. Wow, we got 2 gold. Wow, 200. That's crazy. Yeah, right. We have to go here and then get this, the shield orbs. Do you have beta testers? Not yet. Because I don't have a demo version out. Have you tried using math? Like how many hits should the skeleton be able to take? Tweaking values and YOLO, it doesn't seem to be that productive. I don't. Wooden sword. Is there an option to make the game in-game to speed up time? Or is it only in dev? Yeah, there is. So essentially we have the round twice here. We have 2 items being supplied to us very early on. I think that's a bit too easy. Now I have 2 weapons. And I could use armor pierce plus 10, for example. I think I would only place 1 hero and balance it hard for 1 hero, then with 2 heroes, isn't it? It's easy. Also, you know the game in and out. How does it feel for a noob? Yeah, I know. That's also a big thing. Alright, I think I'm spawning too many skeletons in this round. Let's see. At least for minimum physical damage. Oh. The player should never have to play a certain way to beat the game. He needs more options. Yeah, exactly. I'm working on these different options. Yeah. So we're talking about round 4 here, where I spawn 10 skeletons. So maybe I should spawn... Wait a minute. This was 10 before. Let's try to spawn 4. And then the time step between them is 14 seconds. Which before was, how much was that? 8. Okay guys, I'm quickly bringing away the baby. Come here.
That's actually a strategy because you have longer iframes. Heal your mother! Oh! Keep spamming your attacks! Yes, bro! Keep spamming them! Boom, boom, boom!
You would have 24,000 FPS with Vulkan? Maybe. Maybe. But in order to write that, you would most likely spend half your life. Okay, guys, I'm back. Just arrived and I see Cakez is gone, eating his wife ice cream again. Okay, bro. What do we have here? The player should never have to play a certain way. He needs more options, yes. So, well, there's multiple things I could do here. Number one. We make it so that in round 3, we get the mage. But we don't have to use the mage. We give the player the opportunity to use the mage. Or we introduce a new enemy that maybe the starting damage of my unit is. Let's see. Let's say we... I think they're too easy. Wooden sword. I think shield orbs is too overpowered, guys. To be honest. Sorry, but... shield orbs. I think their duration is too long. I think I want to halve the duration. Cakez balance for one hero. The one you place at start until round 5, but you have so much beans that you can at least get 2 to 3 heroes. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, now it's not as long anymore. 17 seconds. He's gone for a while. I think we have case of poopy pants and poor wife has to clean it. Okay, bro. Shut the fuck up. Fucking ridiculous. What the fuck is this? You guys hear this? Anticipation could be a try, like spawn just 3 to 5 to anticipate the player to what's coming next wave, so that the player will defeat a bigger total amount if he is not overwhelmed at first. Yeah, game looks great compared to last year when I was following you. Keep up, love the art style. Thank you. Thank you, Ugly. I really appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. How can you have such a loud phone that you can hear this through the streets? What the fuck? Okay. Let's see. This is round 4. You know what? I think I need to have... Did you outsource the art or made it yourself? I made the art myself. Let me see here. Round 1 is fine. Round 2 is fine. You improved a lot then, lol. Thank you, thank you. That's cool to hear. I don't want to have another crawler red here. In this. But I do need a stronger unit. So you guys told me that... You know what? I need a stronger unit. Let's make a new crawler. Very good point, but usually the player starts in the middle, just like in Tic-Tac-Toe. Cakez balance for 1 hero. Let's see, skeleton, crawler, dark. Then skeleton. We have crawler. Dark. Over here. Dark. Let's open up the Atlas. I feel like you need another enemy for this to make sense. So right now we have... Where's this? We have this crawler right here. He is supposed to be white. You know what? I'm quickly going to turn this into a real skeleton. If I can. Nah, fuck it. Fuck it. We're not going to turn this into a real skeleton. It's white. Then dark-ish. Like that. But that kind of sucks. It's supposed to be this. Crawlers. Oops. Will you add more fruits to the world? Blood orange, citrus, lemon, or for instance? No, I will just have this what I have right now. I'm just gonna place this here, I guess. Then over here we have a different color. I want to make this dark. I kind of want to have like a grayish tone or something. Something like that. Yeah, that looks really good. Let's add this dark crawler. And then over here, This crawler really looks bad, in my opinion. Let's turn the entire skeleton red. Like this. Oh yeah. And then give it a nice outline here. Like this. Ah, that's why it works. I see. You know what, guys? I'm going to quickly try to turn this into a skeleton.
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh, this looks so bad. Yikes. My man, thank you very much for following. I appreciate it, bro. Goodness. Gameplay, Cakes, not art. You're right, man. You're right. I know. I just can't, man. I just can't deal with this. This looks bad. Bro? That's the point of prototyping, it doesn't matter. Fine. Fine. It's okay. It's fine. Looks so good though. You see this? And I just have the shitty... Fine. Fine. Basically the same values but with 1168. And then we have crawler dark. There you go. The animation states are dark. The collider is the same. We just give him more life. 600, and I want them to be faster. Like 46 or something. I want them to be really fast. But maybe this is too much life. I'm gonna give them... Oh, well, let's try 600 life and see how they are. Coin reward is going to be 4 then. XP reward... Not too much more, let's say 6. Then around 3 instead of having like a normal skeleton armor wave. This not. Keep the comment there. That says 34. I have it in the other skeleton. That's why. Did you notice that you always flee to pixel art when you're supposed to work on gameplay? That's some form of procrastination. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I do notice that. I do notice this. I actually do. Fine, let's check round 3. But the only reason why is because I'm introducing a new enemy because I feel like I need a new enemy that is not an armored enemy yet. And that new enemy is supposed to be really fast. I was thinking about adding a wolf, but I don't have a wolf, so I'm just going to have literally the same type of enemy in a different color that's faster. And then once I did that, I was unhappy with how it looks, and for my standards it felt bad, which is why I just what the fuck? Of course. And so, like, I'm not procrastinating in that sense, but I am I'm being distracted, essentially. Is Cakez boycotting his demo so he never has to worry about the release? No, guys. Alright, let's place 2. Oh, you told me to place 1, right? Fine, we'll place 1. Man, I don't have enough enemies. Bloons to the bloon. Yeah, but they have different bloon types. What are you talking about? There's like literally, how many bloon types are there in bloons? There's just a million Moabs, for example. Alright, skill point. Like this. You told me to use 1. Uh-oh. I can't beat this guy. So he has too much life. And now I lost. That's not good. That's actually not good, guys. What do we do? Hey Cakez, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, bro. Man, I don't have enough enemies. Bloons. I think Cakez is afraid of releasing. No, guys, I want to make a good gameplay experience. What are you talking about? A good gameplay experience. A good gameplay experience includes. Well. Fuck, I can't beat this guy. Maybe he's too fast? How about this? Instead of adding this red skeleton here, I'm adding it to round 3. And then over here, I'm just adding dark skeletons. Maybe like that. And then in round 3 we have this red skeleton that maybe starts a little bit later. 12 comes in later. And then the dark skeletons. Actually, am I supposed? That's not supposed to be 20. That would be too much. Let's do 12. Then over here we have 12. And actually over here that should be like 6 or 8. And then they start at 20 seconds in with a time step of 4, and we have crawlers with a time step of 2. Just use a beach ball with a million different stats and call it balls. No, guys. We do like this. Let's see. 20 enemies, round 1. How are these rounds triggered? By pressing the play button that you can see that is behind me, or by having auto start rounds. You can't see it right now because this options menu is fucked up. By having a checkbox and automatically starting rounds. However, what I want to do is the same thing as in Kingdom Rush, where you can start rounds early for a little bit of gold. That's another gameplay feature I want to add in soon. Alright, so this guy can beat round 1. It's not even a question. Good. So that's something we can build soon. Good. Yeah, we can build that. Alright, now, shield orbs is supposed to be used. Let's see. I found money. Ja. Looks like I had the wrong data. What if the other skill... What if you skill the other skill because it's cooler? I won't let the player do that. Okay, so these dark enemies are faster. Uh-oh. I can't beat the round. It's too many. I like it when TD games show what's coming next in the progress bar, so you know what type of enemies to prepare for at least. Making the back enemies faster, huh? Maybe I should make them slower, actually. Let's try making them slower. Yeah, I mean, this is what basically happens, right? You have to test this out. So let's make him, instead of 46, I know it was 34 before. This is like the baseline for crawlers. Let's use 28. I show you what's coming next up here. That's how many enemies there are. Alright, let's see. Don't let them overlap. No, it should still work with overlapped. Let's see though. The skill that I have now is just worse. I have a worse ability. Good to remember, change the enemy and you balance the enemy, change the turret and you need to balance every enemy. Oh, that's actually smart, yeah. That is what will go hand in hand with what we need to do, true. Alright, let's see. So there's the first dark enemy. They are a little bit slower. Okay. I mean, it kind of is timed that it works. I did manage to beat the round. Now we can do round 3. Let's see. So here's the question. Like, I should... I think the skull icon is misleading. It looks like how many enemies left to kill rather than how many are still spawning.
Gotcha, bitch.
I thought that too. How many enemies to kill? Yeah, but it's showing that how many enemies to kill in this round. How many enemies are left to kill? The green text looks bad. We're not talking about UI now. You're trying to purposely mislead me into working on UI so you can shit on me again for working on UI. I think I actually need to ban you, Mr. Collector of Stuff. Again. You're doing this on purpose. I know that. No, it's not. It went down to 0 while there are still many on screen. Oh, that's how many spawn. You have 200 beans. You could have placed 2 towers, Cakez. Yes, but you told me to use 1 tower. So, I can't beat the level with 1 tower. Is that an issue? I don't think it is. If someone is that bad to only place 1 tower, I think it's their own fault. It's not bad, right? So you can place more. I think it's fine. I think the balance is okay. This is what looks okay. Forgot the green text. That green shit is hideous. Shut the fuck up. Don't care, bro. Don't care. Place the second at the bottom left or something. This is actually the best place for the second one here. Yeah. Okay, so that was easy. Okay, cool. Will you balance for the best or the worst case? Ooh, I have an idea, guys. I just had a cool idea on how to make this game feel better. In-game chest open.
Good
I have a cool
morning,
idea.
Senor Cakez.
I don't want to be like Cakez.
Let me see. Scripting event. This one right here needs to go. Max T index. Yeah. Wait, spawned hero. Can unlock item. It gathers all of the unlocked items. And then item choices add. Now. What is this Smash Mouth instrumental? You can do exclamation mark song, Breakfast Brew. Long time no see, bro. Checks out how pixel junk monsters. Can you give a link in a second? Thanks for the Ace-Part download tutorial. Hey, my man Nathan, that's awesome to hear, bro. Great. You can do song list or songs, then it shows you a list. Cakez debated us. I thought that he won't stream today. Yeah, I thought I won't stream today either, bro. I'm sorry, I misled you. It wasn't my intention. I thought I couldn't stream either. Let me see. We have an item that is not unlocked yet. We go through all of the items. Can we unlock the item? Item choices add. And then if we have more than one, I hope that this works. This coding right here. Random index. So if we don't have the scripting event yet, this scripting event right here, we have not unlocked any items yet. I'll show you. I think it's much cooler than what I had before. If we don't have the unlocked scripting event yet, we need to do a for loop. Excuse me. Item choices on item index, and then if possible item is the same as item wooden sword, then I set the random item index to item index and I break. And then I also make a bool found wooden sword is false. And then I can say found wooden sword is true. And then after that, once we break out of this loop, I do an SM assert. Found wooden sword. Then if we didn't find the wooden sword, then did not find the wooden sword. It should be unlocked first and be present. There you go. Now, why do I do this? I want to give the same feeling like in Vampire Survivors. I'll explain this. This else case here. This is supposed to go away. Scripting tutorial, unlock first weapon. Let's put this right here. So essentially what happens in Vampire Survivors, when you get your first chest, or no, this is what happens. Your first chest always spawns. No, wait. It is your first chest always spawns. No, not the first chest. But I think the third or second or third chest is legendary. Yeah. So basically, it is a scripted event that gives you a particular outcome and shows you that there's possible better chests to find. And it gives you like a boost of dopamine because of that. And I can do something similar. And like while before we would just get the wooden sword when we opened this chest. Now it should look more like a gambling chance. But we still always get the wooden sword first. So I'll show you. Just need to wait. Pork milkers. So we get that. We get the shield orbs. We spawn these. We train these. What do you dislike about C++? What are you doing today on the project? We're currently working on upgrading. No, we're working on gameplay essentially. All right. Next wave. Okay, so this is essentially what I was trying to go for. Watch. I should always get the wooden sword. You see this? Every time, without fail. And so now this looks like, you know, it's randomly choosing an item for the first time, but we know exactly what we're getting. I think this is better than just immediately showing this screen right here. Yeah, Danny Express, thank you very much for following, bro. Okay, I think this is better. I need to make the skeletons look better, but let's see. Now round 4 introduces a new enemy type. I feel like I need to introduce more crawlers in round 4. It's not enough. Time start. Skeletons. Number changing stream. See you in 5 minutes. I'm working on gameplay, bitch. Okay, so this guy is taking 1 physical damage. I'm introducing an enemy that I can't kill. I don't think that's good. I can't kill him. He only takes 1 damage. He spawns on round 4. Even if I only spawn 1, he can't be killed. Put it back to 5 or 7. I think I just need to reduce the armor on the skeleton. His armor is too high. His base armor is 50. Which is minus 50 physical damage. Essentially. It is a direct counter to my attack and I have at most 50. So if I put it to 40, I deal 10 damage to him. Now I can beat him. Actually 40 is what I have. So if I put it to 35, I deal 5 damage to him. Minus 35 physical damage. Also, this is a bit too high. It's annoying. So 35 here. Can you please tell me what are the best 3 YouTube channels to learn game dev with C and C++?
Me? Me? And me.
No. Yeah. No, but I think the best place to start is Handmade Hero. Google Handmade Hero or Molly Rocket on YouTube. This one is good to start with. The Introduction to C on Windows. That one is really good. And you could also go with the Cherno. He has some interesting tutorials on game development and C++. And me. Actually me, too. I have a couple of tutorials on making an engine or like a game in C++ from start to mostly finish. I call the game finished because the last thing that is left to do in the game is to work on the game and nothing stats. Yeah. Thank you very much. YouTube won't teach you C and C++ game dev. Game dev is complex and you will learn it most by start experimenting, finding your solutions yourself. Yeah. But Casey will teach that to him. And me too. What's the rogue checkbox on the continue button? That's UI that I'm not supposed to fix, bro. So yeah, I'm not supposed to fix that, bro. I would fix it, but chat doesn't allow me to do that. So I can't. Why does the top right Tangy have a red bob? That's UI again as well. I'm not allowed to fix this. We need to work on gameplay. True, don't fix it. Yeah, start with something like a console game or simple program that takes input. Now, I disagree with this. I think you should start with something that you're actually enjoying, that you want to do. Oh wow, we got lucky. Some gold. Round 3. Oh yeah, I didn't train this ability actually. Alright, then we get this. Boom. Wooden sword. Mobs look like the ghost from the ring. Yeah, the mobs are not final. They are placeholders. Why are we killing innocent babies? We're not. We're not. Alright, so now we get armored enemies. I think round 4 still needs a better improvement. The time step of 2 or 1. Oh god. He's still taking 1 damage. No, he's taking 1 damage from the shield, but 5 damage from the attack. So he is killable. But slowly. I mean, he does... Wait, he does fall when we use a better weapon. And what do I dislike about C++? I can't have inline functions, but that's about it. Done following you and Cakez, TV, DC, XX. My man, thank you. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. I feel like it's too easy now, but I could just be coping.
Gotcha, bitch.
Let's see. Let's do round number 4. I feel like this is too easy. Now the armor enemies are easily beaten by 2. Look at this. Oh, are they? Yeah, they are. They kinda are. That's a pretty satisfying sound. And what is this? Break? Found wooden sword. Oh, I see. I need to complete the scripting event. Scripting event, unlock items. There we go. How did you implement the rewind system? Cakez. The rewind system? Without scimitar, bleed chance, physical damage. This is where even more armored units show up. And this is where I need to start investing into magics. But I think at this point it's too late. I think this wave is too strong. Yeah, this wave is too difficult for the average player. I can't even beat it myself. I mean, he's able to... Yeah, close. It's close, but not possible. Yeah. That's a pretty satisfying sound. Yeah, you can rewind the game back in time. That's impressive. Oh, you mean the Control L? This one right here? That's just a binary drop. It's like, have you ever used an emulator? That's how I did it. Why did it take so much time to understand? Cakez, you used to be a PHP programmer, right? Because I saw this style of programming inside PHP files. Now it makes sense. What do you mean about inline functions? You've got the inline keyword which combine... No. Locally scoped functions. Sorry about that. I mean locally scoped functions. So like have a function in a function. That's what I can't have in C++. That's the only thing I don't like. Yeah, and then the wooden sword is something we get. And then round 4. You can use that during lambdas, yeah, but I don't like that. I don't like that. I know you can. I know it's possible. Alright, how much damage? This guy does 5 damage to him. And because of the weapon, this guy does 25. Because of the armor. I think... Hot take here. I think this is fine.
Gotcha, bitch.
I think it's actually fine. Because it shows that with upgrades... I can actually beat these. It's not obvious that the skeleton has armor. Well, I could give him some bracelets. But you're right. And Splash Grumbler, thank you very much for following. How can I learn C++ game dev? You make a game in C++, bro. That's how. Man, this was easy. 50 damage? I'm not sure, but Lumbers copy stuff around when captured, so if you don't use captures, it's just like Odin local procs. Start by reading C++ primer. I think you need to add DPS counters to the towers. It will help with the development and players will like it. No, it's another UI piece. You don't need that in Bloons either. I don't think so, no. It's just more UI that clutters the screen. A lot of people in Twitch asking how to start C++ game dev. Cakez is making a good promotion. Do you know any good resources for learning C++ game dev? Yes. Google Handmade Hero. Intro to C. And then Cakez 77. Celeste clone.
Gotcha, bitch.
Tutorial. This. Put these into... I can give you the links, essentially. Why not? So essentially what you want is intro to C on Windows. Maybe Travis Roman also has a really good intro playlist. Where's the playlist? Really? It doesn't show the playlist of Handmade Hero? Okay, I'll find that. Give me a second. There it is. This one right here. And then Cakez Celeste clone playlist. There you go. Celeste in C++.
Well, thank God we built.
It's very technical though. So if you need C++ background, you should Google any C++ tutorial on YouTube. Any tutorial that you do works. It doesn't matter. We can go for all. We have 4 hours code camp, free code camp. That one's good. We have other ones. I wonder why it's only showing playlists now. But there's the usual ones. What the fuck happened? Is it bricked now? Videos? What the fuck? Like my search engine is fucked up now. It's actually fucked up. What the fuck? Huh? C++ tutorial. It would always show me. Why is it showing playlists now? I searched for playlist one time and it's fucked up the entire search engine? Ah, this one. This is what I was looking for. Any of these tutorials that you find here, whether that be the full C++ course, whether that be the playlist from the journal or another playlist, Handmade Hero playlist, it doesn't matter. You need to know the basics. And when you know the basics, after that, you can go into the game tutorials that you want to do. That's how you get into C++ game development. You stay consistent, try to do a little bit each day to not overwhelm yourself. And build a habit. That's the most important thing. Build a habit. Anyways, yeah. What is this? Handmade Hero. I liked also the K&R-C book. There's a lot of good resources. Essentially, it boils down to being consistent. Okay, guys. Here's something that's interesting. Tower defense. What makes a tower defense good? I have been looking at balloons basically every time I wanted to answer a question that I had. Most recently, we answered the question about collision detection and obstacles in the game, and then the answer about, well, can I place a unit on the road? How fine-grained is the collision detection from the heroes to the road? And it's really fine-grained, and that's what led us to make essentially the same. It is now pixel perfect collision detection. You could see I could place this hero very close to the road here, but as I go down I can't, because I'm using what is called a mask collision detection. That is actually taking a look at the colors of the road with like an error margin, and then determining whether you can place a hero on the road or close to the road or not. And but still, there's still a lot to learn, and let's see what makes tower defense games good. I want to make a good tower defense game. I want to hopefully make one of the next big tower defense games. I'm working very hard on it. I don't want it just to be the next generic tower defense game. I have some interesting game mechanics, but let's see. What does this guy have to say? Reality Escape. I've spent many hours clicking away at various tower defense games. Me too. And there's something so addicting about them. Taking time to set everything up and watching them demolish everything is in its path. I know I'm certainly not the only one who's played hundreds of hours of TD games, but maybe I can pick apart certain mechanics that the games to show and explain to you why me and so many others love it so much. 5 years ago. It's a long time ago, but there's Plants vs. Zombies, Kingdom Rush, and other tower defense games. Maybe Bloons too. Let's see. Yoink time. That's yoink.
Back when I was 11 or 12 years old, my mother signed me up for some summer camps at a local university. The camps normally involved some really basic lessons in coding, which truthfully was more copying and pasting code into Flash. YouTube was fresh out and everyone was talking about this Nintendo nerd guy and his hilarious video on an old Ninja Turtles game. But to end every day, the entire class would play in a huge game of Battlefield, or occasionally a group would go off to the side and play the popular Warcraft 3 mod, Defense of the Ancients. However, I was interested in another Warcraft 3 mod that no one else was interested in, and that was Tower Defense. And
yes, tower defense game. That's where I got introduced to tower defense games. That was in Warcraft 3. There was a mod, of course. A custom
since
map.
No one else would play with me, I started playing random Flash tower defense games online. Eventually, the instructors knew me as the quiet kid who would only play tower defense games. But what was so addictive about these games that I simply couldn't put them down?
Tower defense. It's a bit loud. Sorry about that.
Here's a track. At one end, enemies spawn. At the other, your life count. Place towers to stop the enemies from getting to your lives. When you run out, the game's over. Some games have an objective way, while others have a play until you run out and go for the highest score system.
Hey, bro, like, maybe you're watching this. This could be an interesting theme for your game. It's more of a modern theme, but it's also pixel art. And I have to say, top-down looks really good. What type of game is that? Is that Warcraft 3? Tower 1 Level 2? Game Mini TD. Wait, we need to take a look at this, guys. Mini TD. Please don't tell me it's a phone game. Please tell me it's on Steam. Mini TD. Shit, images. It's not this. There we go. Spiele umsonst. Online. You can play it online. Hey? What's going on? Is it not loading? It's a scam, guys. God damn it. It's a scam. On a Russian website? I don't think so. Probably a Flash game. Flash is dead. Sad. Fine. Fine. Looked really good though.
Highest score system, and some have a complete this map and move on to the next map system. The highest score system, and some have a
initial money. You can get more initial money. You can get tower prices. I guess reduced tower prices. You can have money per kill increased. You can have tower damage increased. Already bought, can afford, can't afford. Very simple. Slowing mastery, slowing duration, poison gas tower, power, bombs radius,
complete
bombs
this map
price.
and move on to the next map system. Some games allow you to level up your towers, some allow you to send waves early for an extra challenge, but in the end, it's a game of patience.
Yep.
If you feel the need to constantly be doing something, this might not be for you. However, if you'd like to set everything up and sit back and watch your work unfold, I'm sure you would easily be able to enjoy a tower defense game. There's
That's
something so
Elements TD.
simplistic in its design. Much
Oh,
like
Gemcraft,
incremental
sorry.
games, which I covered in my last video, the base concept is so simple and doesn't really have
Make
a
a
huge
good game
learning
and
curve.
don't market
This,
it.
of course, means
The
there's
money will
plenty to
come
build
to
and
you.
expand on. The game at its core is all about managing resources, making sure you don't leave an area unprotected, and in some cases even making sacrifices in order to go further in the long run. I find with tower defense games that, although the concept is pretty easy to grasp, you still need to slowly introduce new mechanics to your players.
Yeah.
Sometimes games will have
Bloons.
10 different towers all immediately available to the player with no reasonable explanation of the differences
That's bad. If you have 10 towers available at the very beginning, that's bad. The player is overwhelmed and they will not test out every tower. They will just test out one.
between them. Jumping from game to game isn't so much of a, well, you've played one, you've played them all, as much as it is a, well, this seems familiar, but something's different. One thing to point out that, in my opinion, there is a difference between a tower defense game and just a defense game. Like, I would not personally classify Age of War as a tower defense game.
No.
And I'm not trying to take away from
And
these
the
games.
reason why I would say is because there's no lines, there's no lanes that enemies go through. It's just they approach your castle and you have your own defenders that defend this castle. Yeah.
Which is not what I'm talking about right now. A lot of these games generally have some sort of theme attached to them. The most common themes are military themed, which makes sense, medieval themed, which makes sense, futuristic themed, which makes sense, and monkey themed. Well, sure, why not? Now, there's a chance that when I mentioned a set track in a tower defense game, some old school tower defense players might have taken exception, and rightfully so. Some of the more well-known tower defense games actually use an open concept map where the player builds the track that the enemies flow through using their towers.
We have seen that.
This, of course, leads
The latest example of this was Amber Ward with the Tetris building. It's essentially this idea, but instead of being able to place one tile, you place Tetris blocks.
room for much
So
more
it makes it a little bit more difficult to have like a perfect, I don't know what you call that, zigzag course for the enemies.
strategy and variation, such as games where your towers can be destroyed if there's no way through, or other games where the game simply won't let you cut off the path. Enemy design can vary greatly as well, from gray dots to bright colorful balloons. Some games will have different types of enemies, giving some
Looks
more
really
health or
leggy.
more speed, or perhaps a flying enemy where a specific tower is needed to destroy it. Sometimes you get more
See, this is what I was thinking about doing too, but I had this in the game before, and then I removed it because it felt incomplete. But I haven't given up on it yet.
enemies per wave. Sometimes they just become stronger. Some games
Guys, look at the arrows. This is a game that exists. Ultimate Defense. Is that a Flash game? Please tell me it's a real game. Steam. It's not. Wait, Ultimate Defense. Wait. That's not. I don't think this is real. Training center. Firing range and training center. A game, bro. A game. Not this. Game Flare. So that's a Flash game too, huh? Yep, it is. Oh, wow. 13 upvotes and 6 downvotes. Damn.
Am I so out of touch?
Okay.
No.
Mate Cobb is gifting 1 sub to
Hey,
the
thank you.
community.
Thank you so much. Mage Cobb. Thank you very much for gifting us up to Sand Zeppel. Sand Zeppel. Thank you, bro.
have a feature that if you're feeling confident, you can send out waves a little bit earlier and usually get some sort of bonus for doing so.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to mention is the towers themselves. Tower variety is really important in these games because it allows you to try out different strategies and keep the game replayable. I also understand the challenge of balancing towers is insanely hard, so to the developers who can manage to pull this off, thumbs up to you.
Yeah, we're working on this.
You'll find your standard mix of towers in most games, the basic one, the one that shoots fast but does less damage, the one that does splash damage, the tower that just slows things down, the tower that stuns enemies, and oftentimes there will be an item that you can just deploy on the ground in case some enemies get past all your defenses.
You get the archer on 10 then?
Almost always the towers can be upgraded, sometimes with branching multiple pathways, sometimes it costs gold to upgrade, sometimes the towers need experience from kills. Based off of what I've already said, you can see there's tons of variation in these games. Sometimes it's a flash game, sometimes it's a first-person shooter, sometimes you control a character, and sometimes
Must
you're
Die,
just
is
a
it?
god
No,
from above
Dungeon
placing
Defenders.
towers down. Just a quick note here before we get into specific games, I am not a reviewer or a critiquer, nor do I really consider this an analysis channel. I'm just talking about some of these games and what I personally think makes them great. This is also not a history lesson, so I won't be going through every game in existence. I also haven't played every game, so I apologize if I miss your favorite, even if you think it's a staple of the tower defense genre.
Oh god,
If there's
he
a
has
game
4
you
life
love
left.
that I missed, comment down below. I'm sure there are other people
He's a
who would
noob.
love to talk about it with you. I'm also aware that there are tons and tons of mobile tower defense games, but I'm not going to be talking about any of them.
I
because
actually
haven't personally
downloaded a mobile tower defense game. It's literally just a circle, and there's quads that are approaching your tower at all times. It's a pay-to-win game. I just wanted to see what a mobile tower defense game looks like. Yeah. Very interesting. Okay, so how do we make it great? Music. Okay, yeah.
Now, if you're completely new to the tower defense genre, look no further than Roman Sanine's Tower Defense. The
Okay.
generically named Flash game is a perfect example of what a tower defense game is at its core. One map, one type of enemy, 5 different towers, but enough variation that you'll want to play it a few times to build a real strategy.
Looks really odd.
Each tower can be upgraded to a max level, and they each have their own benefit. Fire towers are strong and cheap early on, but they do the least amount of damage of all the maxed out towers. Water has the most upgrades and by far the most range, whereas the nature tower builds incredibly slowly but ends up being the most powerful tower. There's also a storm tower which has no upgrades, so I don't really recommend it, and a flower tower that doesn't end up really being worth the money you have to save up for it. This game is simple, but it's great. It's exactly what you want from a tower defense game, and when I have an extra 10 minutes every now and then, I give it a play.
Okay.
Now, if I want to find something a bit more complicated, I have to do a little bit of digging.
Okay, but when is he gonna go into what makes a tower defense game good?
It's not so much that it's hard to find a good one, as much as it is finding one that stands out in a crowd. It's very, very easy for these games to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Well, the
Though
basic tower
I don't
defense...
know if this is true or not, because, okay, well, not all tower defense games do that. Okay. Let me see. Tower Defense Steam. Wait, there's actually a game called Tower Defense on Steam? Oh, that's the Tower Defense Fest. Browse games. Give me a second. Yeah. Can relate. Let the man talk. King's Bounty was awesome. Immo. Okay, guys, I'm back. What is this? Browse games. These are all tower defense games? That's not really a Kingdom Rush. Yeah, Kingdom Rush. That's a tower defense game. Kingdom Rush. I wouldn't really consider this a tower defense game, but I guess you can. Then we have Artisan TD. I saw that. I saw... who is it? I saw Soda Poppin play this. Rift Breaker, in my opinion, is it really a tower defense game? Like, these are not... Like, I'm talking about traditional tower defense games. Tower Full Defense. This one's new. This is one of them that's like kept under the radar when... Oh, it was just released recently. It has 79% only. Oh my. Cute game, but I think the $10 price is a little high. A TD game that reminds me of the Flash games in the early 2000s. Pros. Multiplayer, 6 difficulties to try, multiple towers, low system requirements, can run on any computer. Cons. Same music track, combat is lackluster, tower shoots at aliens that are green circles and purple ships. Some upgrades are great, others are useless. For example, freeze allows you to win by stalling. Glitchy does nothing, but it does appear. Okay, so basically it's not balanced. I've played Castles on Clouds by TJ. I don't know, mixed feelings. Didn't know you were the tower defense genre police. Okay, I'll see you in 10 minutes. Oops, there was 16 minutes, but that's fine. We are learning, bitch, okay? Don't be negative. Anyways, okay.
This is great if you just want to spend 10 minutes playing a game. If you're looking for a long commitment that is guaranteed to lag your computer at some point, I would suggest Onslaught 2.
Onslaught
2 is that perfect step up for those looking for something with a little more depth. It still has your basic tower concepts, but also includes modifying towers, some higher level elite towers, and combos. Combos are a great and unique mechanic that I haven't really seen in any other tower defense.
Okay, what is that?
If certain towers are in proximity of each other, certain combos will be activated and they help out tremendously.
Okay.
There's a list on their site that lists all of...
That's a cool idea. That's actually a cool idea. Let me think about that. Yoink. We have found an idea. Combos. Towers. Together. Equals. Well, I still remember nuke. Abilities. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe not. Because it's not like a requirement.
The combos, and it can be tons of fun just trying them all out in a sandbox mode.
Oh, dude.
The biggest killer in this game is patience. There's no advantage to sending waves out early, but sometimes the game goes by so slowly and you send a little more out than you're prepared for. There's no objective wave to hit, you just go until you lose all your lives. There's different difficulties and quite a few maps to give you a real challenge. As I said, the game can go by a bit slow, but I would say a majority of tower defense games fall under this categorization. That being said, if you've got an hour to kill and you want a challenge, I highly recommend it.
Okay. Yeah, this guy's played more tower defense game than I have, probably. Yeah, I didn't play that many. Didn't play this either, Gemcraft. Good stuff. We need to play this.
To the exact opposite direction of playing one map for hours, here we have Gemcraft. Gemcraft's level design involves a finite number of waves, tons of different maps, and tons of different ways to change the game up. The main gimmick of the game is the gemstones, which you can combine in different combinations and they do different things. To do this, you need to use mana, but mana is also the health system, so you have to budget wisely. You need to spend to increase your damage output, but if you don't leave enough in the tank, you can get cleaned out pretty fast. The gems go into empty tower slots, which you can also buy and place more. An underrated aspect of this game is being able to move gems from slot to slot. Although there is a waiting period, most tower defense games are pretty final on where you place your towers, but thanks to this you can move things around at the last second.
That's interesting. Okay.
As the game progresses, you'll encounter harder maps and multiple spawn points. The game allows you to spend points earned in the game in order to give you some bonuses such as...
Let's see. Mana gathered, highest mana pool level, mana spent, 700 kills, largest kill chain, battle total XP. Okay, you got 9 XP.
...is lowering the mana cost for placing towers or creating new gems. Overall, it's a really unique tower defense game, and there's a lot of depth for anyone looking for a long commitment.
Yeah, but okay, but like, are you just going to show all the different games or go into what makes them good? This game is big on sound effects, by the way. There's really good sound effects in the game.
Based off of me telling you how much I love tower defense games, you may not believe it, but I had never played Plants vs. Zombies until the recording of this video.
I don't have either.
Call me a snob if you must, but I felt like it was a dumbed down game and not true to the tower defense genre.
Damn.
After playing it for maybe 5 minutes, I can definitely see why it was so popular at one point. It fills every requirement for what I would want in a tower defense game. Sure, it may not have much variety when it comes to the track, but it teaches you as you go, introduces new towers one by one so you get to learn and understand them, has a variety of enemies that present their own challenges, and gives you new obstacles as you go to keep things fresh. I have a love affair for any tower defense game where you can place a tower that makes you money. I also go way too far and end up having...
I think the mechanic of Plants vs. Zombies, the sun mechanic, keeps you engaged and takes the dull moment of tower defense games and turns them into... It basically turns them into some sort of skill matchup with you clicking on those suns.
Way too many...
And I want to have that too in my game. The
towers
seeds,
that
collecting
I forget to
seeds.
place towers to kill things. I also love the challenge of having to choose which towers you bring with you when you start each level. It allows for people to play their own personal styles.
Maybe we can do this too. What do you guys think? I'm thinking, like, you see how I have this bar here on the right? I can unlock 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 heroes, 6 at most. What do they have 7. Build a party to bring to the match. Yeah, something like that. You decide which units come along because you're basically... So, for anyone that doesn't know, my game revolves around... let me see that. My game revolves around you going on missions in a world map, and this is basically where you start off. Like I had before, but in a different way, yes. What if he wants to watch all Casey playlist? He will finish... just about time for retirement age. Yeah, that's true. But before I had instances of the heroes. Now I just take the heroes themselves, and that would also allow me to add more and more heroes to the game. And you just decide which ones you take with you. Very interesting. Let me put that here too. Build a party of prefabs. Yeah. And then I wanna, where do I do this? Label. I wanna label this red. So, yeah, it's important.
There isn't necessarily a right or wrong answer. The game occasionally throws different game types at you as well, like having to bowl down zombies with walnuts, a whack-a-mole type minigame, or where it gives you towers on a conveyor belt and you just have to work with whatever it gives you. Is it a tower defense game? Of course it is. Is it my ideal tower defense game? Not at all. Did I enjoy it? Absolutely. If I was trying to sell someone on the idea of a tower defense game and they were iffy on it, I would have them play this. If they get stressed out, maybe tower defense isn't for them. If they love it, well, there's plenty more where that came from.
Okay. Oh, yeah. We all know that sound. right? Balloons.
If you were asking me for my pick on a tower defense game to sink endless hours into, look no further than the Bloons Tower Defense series.
Crazy, look at
the fifth
those.
installment, which is the one that I'll be talking about here.
Holy shit,
The
is that
game has a
laggy?
very slow start, but leads to a very rewarding end game. You only start off with one basic tower, but as you play and use certain towers...
Ha! So in Bloons City 5, you start out with one monkey too. See, that's what I do too.
You unlock
Without even
upgrades for them.
taking a look at Bloons City 5. And then you rank up, you get a new...
You only have to
Tower.
unlock these once, so when you start your next game, you'll have all the available towers and upgrades that you unlocked before. There's a great selection of towers to choose from, and the more you use
I need to play
the more you'll
5.
find your favorites and preferable ones. There are also different types of balloons, such as balloons that heal over time, cameo balloons that need special towers to detect them, and lead balloons that can't be popped with just darts. Maps are organized in beginner, intermediate, advanced, expert, and extreme. There's also an easy, medium, and hard mode for each map, which basically affects how long you need to go to beat the level, how many lives you have, your starting cash, and how expensive your towers are going to be. You can also choose between 4 different game types: the standard take it wave by wave, deflation, where you get $50,000 for the entire map and can't get any more, apocalypse, which eliminates waves and has continuous gameplay, and sandbox, where you can just do whatever your heart desires.
Damn, that's
You can also play
crazy.
the map in reverse, where the balloons come out of the exit and go to the entrance. You can also earn monkey money throughout the game, or you can buy it with real money, and that can be used to buy upgrades at the beginning of a map, such as double cash, double range, or halving the health of the most powerful balloons. Once a
It's
level is
basically
done,
pay to win, you know, I'm pretty sure they made a lot of money with
enter
this.
free play
Yeah.
and continue to play until your game lags out or you're finally defeated.
Holy shit, the reason why this lags out is because of all of these. Look how many there are. That's crazy, and they never disappear. That's ridiculous. And then there's all of these hero monkeys shooting lasers. Oh my god. Goodness.
One feature that this game has that most tower defense games do not is multiplayer. Whether by matching up with a friend or someone random online, you and another player will split the map in half and attempt to beat it together.
Okay.
You don't earn as much
Cool.
money, but you can send money or request money from your partner,
Oh,
as well as
split
just
the
chatting
money
with
in
them
half. That's actually a smart idea.
typing. While I really love the idea of co-op tower defense, it is a bit limiting. You both have access to the same towers, the only difference being where you can place them. When one player starts the next wave, it just automatically starts, so if your partner is spamming the button, you better be upgrading as fast as you can. It some way almost feels like you're competing with your partner, especially when there isn't any communication besides, hey, I need money. There's a mentality of, save up money yourself, my thing is more important, and you feel a mix of shame and anger when you lose. Due to the fact that you both have the same towers and play the same map, sometimes it just feels like you could have just played single player instead.
Skeletons always turn into a crawler on kill, Enex.
Overall, I like it, and it's not something
In
most
my
tower
game.
defense games include, but it's not my favorite. Separate to Bloons 5, but still on the same vein, is Bloons Tower Defense Battle. It's not technically a part of Bloons 5, but it uses the same tower system. Bloons TD Battle places you head-to-head with an opponent with 2 different options, Assault or Defend. Defend is your standard tower defense, where your main goal is to outlast your opponent. Assault is the game type that most people play, where you can actually
So what I'm thinking about my game, by the way, I'm gonna go the Stardew Valley approach, where I build my game for single player first, gauge the interest, and if the interest is high enough in the game, then I will go and try to take a look at multiplayer. Because doing it the other way around is not a good idea, I think, because I would just waste a bunch of time on a multiplayer mode for a game that no one plays. I think that would just be... That's not a good idea.
against your opponent, and also face the ones that you would normally have to. Now, it costs money to send balloons, but you also gain more money per wave depending on what you send, causing you to look at and analyze the risks. There are many matches
Local
where you aren't
multiplayer?
prepared for what your opponent sends, such as cameo balloons, where
Normal
your opponent
multiplayer.
can't detect cameo balloons, and it can end things in a hurry. You're also limited to how many towers you can bring with you, which means there's a ton of strategy involved.
Cool.
And you really have to play to the map type. I really like this game type, and it's something I'd love to see more of.
Victory here. Now this is what we're gonna do if the game is even successful. If there's time and money for that, essentially. There's no point to do it otherwise. So this is a 3D tower defense game. I'm not really sold on these yet. I've played some of them.
I remember seeing Dungeon Defenders and being so excited for a good multiplayer tower defense game. Right off the bat, the game is obviously great to look at. Unlike what I would refer to as a traditional tower defense game, you actually control a character in this game.
Yep.
Now, this isn't something completely original to Dungeon Defenders, but so far, it's done it the best in my opinion. What's more is that not only does your character place the towers, you can attack the enemies directly.
Yeah.
There are multiple characters and multiple playing styles.
And you get chests when you
unlike Bloons tower defense co-op
beat rounds, yeah.
It actually feels like there's more of a reason to have another player with you, so that you can get more different tower types. Every character has a different playstyle, with some even being more focused on combat and having no real towers to place. You can also switch between characters during setup, but you have to level them up separately.
Reminds me of
Enemies drop
Sanction.
tons of equipment, some that's
Orc
character
must die,
specific.
stuff like that
You
too,
can upgrade it, you can buy more, you can sell it, and you can unlock pets to bring along with you.
I don't really
And
think
as
we can
previously
take
mentioned,
anything
it's
away
multiplayer.
from
There's
this
nothing
game
more fun
for-
than having a buddy tag along
for our
with you while
game.
you strategize the best way to guard your crystal. And of course, always forget that there are flying enemies and none of your towers are set up to hit them. Besides your traditional towers, some characters place bombs, barriers, and giant spinning tops of doom. As you level up your character, you can hold more mana, which allows you to place more powerful towers. There's a limit of how many towers you can place per level, however you can upgrade your existing ones. There are many games in the tower defense genre where you feel completely safe and comfortable on easier levels, but Dungeon Defenders never really gives you that luxury. You're always unsure if a special enemy is going to come along and destroy everything you know and love, or if your tower is going to get destroyed and you won't have enough time to build a new one to replace it.
I don't know about you guys,
As
but
you
I'm not
progress
really
through the
sold on
levels, there
these
will be
types of
bosses who
tower
come
defense
by and
games.
rise stress levels to new extremes.
Bosses are cool, but I think they are much better in a like top-down vision tower defense game. The reason why
There are a few
top-down
different
defense,
campaigns
the
and
reason why I don't like this is because you're losing the overview.
Different
It's not
special
really my
challenges
type
you
of
can
game.
play through, all of which that can be completed on multiple difficulties. There aren't a ton of strategy games I've played with friends that really gets my brain working like this one. Later on, you'll have multiple crystals to defend, and you can go back and forth for several minutes on who should place what where. Normally, I would say that I could see myself replaying this a few
It's fun
times to
multiplayer.
try out different characters, but since there's a sequel I haven't played yet, I'll most likely move on to that once I'm done everything I can here. I'm also aware there's a big modding community for this game, but personally, I haven't touched any of it. While I'm not too far into the game, I have to say I would absolutely recommend it to anyone who likes tower defense games
Boss
or just
defeated.
strategy games in general.
I'm not sold, but that just might just be my preference. In conclusion,
So why do
okay.
we play tower defense games? Ryan Clements, formerly of IGN, currently of Deck 9 Games, wrote an article back in 2012 based off of the game Orcs Must Die 2. In his article, he spoke about humans and their natural instincts to protect what we care about, and I tend to agree with him. At its roots, the game is, see this right here? Protect it. How you do so is completely up to you. Whether the mechanics of the game be oversimplified or overly complicated, you are always free to do things how you want to do them. Choose
okay.
the tower that doesn't do a ton of damage but shoots really fast, or the tower that doesn't shoot very fast but guarantees a kill if it hits. Attack the enemies at their spawn point, or let them come close to your base before wiping them all out. Slow them down, or hit them so hard they won't even know what hit them. The choice is yours. You choose how you want to fight off enemy waves, which towers are your favorites, and how you want to use them. I love strategy games, and sometimes when I'm in the mood to play one, tower defense games are always the first one to come to mind. Even the most complicated tower defense game is really easy to pick up and learn. Tower defense games almost transcend genre entirely, and there are tons of games that have other elements of tower defense games in them. What started as a humble flash game genre has really grown into a great library of games. And while maybe the tower defense scene has been pretty quiet for the last while, the old games still have their charm.
I think the best games, the best tower defense games are the 2D games. That is Bloons TD, Gemcraft, and Plants vs. Zombies, Kingdom Rush, stuff like that.
Thank you so much for watching to the end if you made it this far. My name is Ghostboy259, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe and give myself and the channel a follow on Twitter. Links are all down in the description.
There you go,
I've
guys.
got a gaming channel as well called JafferDub, so if you want to see more of me, there's a link down there. as well.
Unfortunately, it
You'll
looks
also
like he
find a link
didn't
to the
go into
IGN
specific
article.
points, which is a little bit sad to see. He just showed a bunch of different cool mechanics from different tower defense games. But I can tell you, it's not actually that easy. What I got from this was that there's different tower defense tower types that are common in tower defense games, and that placing towers together can be a cool idea to do something different in tower defense games. But more importantly, Bloons does it best, essentially. And I think so too. Whether that be Bloons 5 or 6, they just do it best. They have the most reviews, they have the most player base, the biggest player base, and they started out as Flash games too. They've been around for a long time. Anyways, guys. I gotta leave. It's already 5 PM. Sorry for the short stream. I hope you still had fun. Let's see. Let me send you over to someone. Let's see here. What do you think? Lana Lux. Let me send you guys to Lana Lux. Again, sorry for the short stream today. Hope you had fun nonetheless. I really appreciate everyone watching. Hope you had fun, guys. Okay? Need to leave fast. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a good one, guys. Peace. See ya. Bye. On YouTube too. Thank you, guys.